The Pea Gatling is one of the coolest abilities in Garden Warfare 2, and there's 3 variations: Pea Gatling, Retro Gatling, and Bling Gatling. And in today's video, we're going to be talking about all 3, what they do, the stats, everything you need to know, which one's the best, and yeah, some cool things you could do with it. And yeah, that's what we're going to be talking about today. If you're not subscribed, what are you doing? Subscribe! I mean, help me reach 20K. Come on. Really? Come on. Anyway. Today we're going to be filming the video about Pea Gatling, and I hope you guys enjoy the content and remember to like as well. So let's get right into the stock Pea Gatling. So the Pea Gatling, the Peashooter's second ability. It's really good. It's considered a root ability, so you can't move around as you use it, as you can see. It has a DPS of 176, doing 12 damage a shot with crits. It has 100 ammo in its clip, and it has a really high rate of fire at 875. This is a really good ability, and it absolutely shreds everything at all ranges. The only issue being that when you're standing still, you're completely vulnerable to anything. So this ability's DPS is literally insane. Again, higher than any primary weapon in the game. Absolutely shreds anything. It will kill you if you see this thing. The best way to use Pea Gatling is going in a corner or in a place where not a lot of people see you, and you could absolutely laser anyone that comes into sight. And it's broken. Pea Gatling is a really good ability, and the great thing about this ability is that everyone starts out with it right away, so you don't have to worry about unlocking it or anything, and it's just really powerful. One thing I really like to do with this ability is as I jump, I use the ability at the same time, and as you can see, I'm carrying a bit of momentum, whereas if I'm standing still, I don't get that extra boost. But you jump around and you could carry that extra bit of momentum. It's pretty cool. One thing to know about Pea Gatling is that you have so much armor when you're in this thing, so you could pretty much tank a lot of shots, but you're still vulnerable to stuff like ZPGs. But this thing absolutely shreds stuff like Z-Mechs, and you're just gonna kill everything that goes into sight. Again, 176. Why did he go out of the Z-Mech? And maybe even the best use for Pea Gatling is Z-Mechs. Since this thing has such a high DPS, this thing absolutely shreds the mechs, and you can shred like multiple of them because you have that much ammo. So really good use for that is some of the higher health enemies in this game, but definitely mechs. It's the best mech counter in the game by far. This thing, mechs don't have a chance against this thing unless they somehow run away from you, but if they do that, like, I mean, that's going to happen with any primary weapon, but Pea Gatling by far the best mech counter in the game since it has such high DPS. I don't want to talk about this for too long, but Rock Pea pairs really well with the Pea Gatling because Pea Gatling gives you armor. So since he has 160 health, it'll be a lot better to use Pea Gatling with Rock Pea than any of the other Peas. So if you love spamming Pea Gatling, play with Rock Pea because it'll be your best bet. We're going to start talking about the second ability for Pea Gatling, Retro Gatling. This ability was in Garden Warfare 1. It has a DPS of 126, it has 50 ammo and a slower rate of fire. If that sounds like a downgrade, it's because it is. This ability is a big downgrade to the regular Pea Gatling. So let's show it off. So Retro Gatling, it still has a really high DPS, and it actually does more damage per shot than the regular Pea Gatling. It does 17 damage per hit, but it has the same exact recharge as the regular Pea Gatling, and again, lower rate of fire. So the Retro Gatling actually does more damage at range when the Pea Gatling does less. But it doesn't matter because the Pea Gatling actually has a higher DPS at range because of its faster fire rate, meaning that the Pea Gatling is still the better ability at range and the better ability overall due to its higher damage per second, more ammo, and faster fire rate. The Retro Gatling really has no use. It has the same exact accuracy as the regular Pea Gatling, and it's just an overall downgrade in my opinion. It's not a bad ability by any means, but it is pretty much completely outclassed by the regular Pea Gatling. There's no reason to use this thing other than wanting to troll your friends. So the Retro Gatling is a downgrade to the regular Pea Gatling, and I do not recommend using it because this is an unlockable ability, and there's really no point of using this thing. It is satisfying to hit with it though. I mean, it does the job, but it's just a downgrade. Final Pea Gatling ability is the Bling Gatling. Guess what? This ability is the same exact thing as the Retro Gatling, but it just looks cooler. The thing I find funny is if you look at the icon right here, it's an exact palette swap of Retro Gatling, so you can tell the devs were a little lazy for this one, but it's okay. We love Bling Gatling. It's such a funny ability. So the Bling Gatling, again, is the exact same thing as the Retro Gatling, so everything I said about that being bad applies here too. There's no added buffs or bonuses. still has a lower fire rate, and it does the same exact damage as the Retro Gatling, but it still has solid DPS, and it does a lot of damage from range, but again, it is just a complete downgrade to the regular Gatling, so there's really no point of using this thing. And I'm not exaggerating about the regular Pea Gatling doing more damage from range. It does almost double, as from 100 meters away, the regular Pea Gatling does 157 DPS and the Retro Gatling does 90 DPS. That's a really big difference, and it shows how the Retro Gatling is just a lot worse than the regular Pea Gatling. So the main counter to the Pea Gatling is the ZPG. If you get ZPG'd while in this thing, you're going to die instantly. You can't move when you're in Pea Gatling, and if someone's really annoying you with Pea Gatling, just use ZPG, because it is the best counter to the Pea Gatling in the entire game. So I wanted to talk about the counter to these abilities as well. But another fun thing you could do, again, like I mentioned before, is using the momentum to fly around with the Pea Gatling. It's a little hard to execute, but it is possible, and it actually comes in clutch a lot. So my overall ranking of these abilities. Pea Gatling, I'm going to give a solid 9 out of 10. This ability is broken. Extreme DPS, and the only issue with it is that you can't move. Otherwise, it's a perfect ability. It's so good. Retro Gatling, we're going to give this one a 7 out of 10. Again, it's still a good ability, has really high DPS, but it's just way worse than the Pea Gatling. It's outclassed. I think it's just a lot worse. Same thing goes for the Bling Gatling. These are in the same exact ranking spot because they're literally palette swaps of each other. Nothing of these abilities change. They both are like good but outclassed by the regular Pea Gatling, and just use the regular Pea Gatling. Even if you suck at the game, you're still going to get lots of kills with the Pea Gatling because it has 100 ammo, it's hard to miss, high rate of fire, extreme DPS, just a overall really solid ability. And again, using it on the mechs is some of the best thing you could do in this entire game. And again, don't forget to jump around when you use it. Right as you hit jump, use the ability and you could fly around with it, and it's really fun and satisfying. So I hope that was a useful tip for you, because I can't underestimate how useful it is to jump out of Pea Gatling. You could also use this out of a beam jump, which is the main best way to use momentum with the Pea Gatling. So as I showed earlier, if you don't know how to beam jump, use the beam bomb and the jump and the hyper jump at the same time, and you could slide and fly around, shoot people. And another useful thing for this is the second you jump off of a lift like this, use the Pea Gatling at the same time, and you could jump off a cliff and use it at the same time. And that could come in clutch in a lot of scenarios, trying to jump people. How are you not dead? There we go. But definitely use it out of your jump almost every time you use it, because you could get better positioning and you could use it quicker if like a mech spawns out of nowhere. Really useful. Remember to use movement to its fullest extent in this game, because movement in this game is broken and also really fun, satisfying, and rewarding to use. But that's all I really got to say about Pea Gatling. It's the best rooted ability in the game other than the solar flare beam, which I'll talk about in a later video. I hope you guys enjoyed watching this video, and you have a great rest of your day. Remember to like, subscribe, and comment which Pea Gatling is your favorite. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Thanks for watching. Bye.